Leanne Morgan joining us now. You are a mom, you are a wife, you are a stand-up comedian, and what I love is that you really give the reality of what parenthood and the craziness is like. Welcome to the program. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, you doll. Thank you. If you could see where I'm sitting, it's in my children's old playroom where it's just stacked with old toys. And when you say mom, if people could see, they go, oh, Lord, Leanne has had a bunch of kids and a bunch of dogs. I'm looking at this room and thinking, I got to get a organizer. But anyway, didn't mean to go off on that, you angel.
Well, that's the reality of what you bring to your show. And that's, you know, we were talking, this is the Just Getting Started tour that you are kicking off in Greenville the night before you hit Augusta on Saturday. I think you're hilarious. I've watched you. I'm a new mom, so while I can't relate to the teenage years, I certainly was a teenager, and I can relate to probably where your daughter has been many times when you talk about her in your act. Talk to us a little bit about why it's so important to make fun, you know, and loosen up a little bit and lighten up about just the craziness that happens in our houses.
Oh, my darling, you're working and doing that, and you just had a baby. How old is your baby?
3 months and 2 years. Yeah, so I'm about to enter this crazier phase, but I feel like I'm in a solid one right now anyway.
Oh, how yummy. Well, congratulations. I've got a grandbaby that's 2, and I got another one on the way.
So you understand a little bit of what I'm experiencing.
Yeah, I'm living all that over again through my grandbabies. But I do think it's important to laugh because, good night, think about all that's going on in the world. And we went through this horrible pandemic, and then you got Vladimir Putin and all that rigmarole. You know, life is hard on this earth, and I think we might as well have a good time and laugh to get through it. And I think people need it more than ever. Comedy is booming, and I think it's because, you know, we've just been through a hard time, and what better way to release, you know, stress than to laugh? I've laughed all my life, and my mom and daddy, we always had a good time, and I had a good time with my children. I just think it's important.
And talk to me about how you got started. You know, some people work their whole lives to do this, but you kind of stumbled into this career, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've been doing it 20-something years now. My baby child just turned 25, and I started when she was 18 months old. But I graduated from the University of Tennessee, and my husband moved me to Bean Station, Tennessee, which is in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. And I was lonely, and I needed a little money to get my hair highlighted. And I'd had my first baby, and I wanted to stay at home and breastfeed him. And so I started selling jewelry. And like women sell Mary Kay and all that kind of stuff in people's homes, Tupperware. And I didn't care a thing in the world about jewelry, but I got up and talked about jewelry and hemorrhoids and birthing and doing and all that. And the company noticed that I started booking about a year in advance and these parties. And so they asked me to start speaking at their big things. And that's how I got started. That's gave me the confidence to try stand-up comedy. So I started, the first time I ever got on stage was at Zany's in Nashville when my baby was 18 months old.
That's wonderful.
And now she just turned 25.
And how does she feel about all this?
She's good and enjoying the money. I'll tell you that. She's the baby and she's spoiled. And I just made her go to the grocery store so she could earn her keep. No, let me say this. She's a professional makeup artist, and so she travels with me some and does my makeup and keeps me alive. And I don't know if you've got a baby girl or a baby boy, but let me tell you that when you get through all this hoopla of teenagers being smart aleck, when your children get grown, they end up your very best friends and they tend to you. She's tending to me. Thank the Lord. She was in LA with me for a month in January and she kept me alive. I'm not kidding. I could never have driven in that traffic.
Well, the tables have certainly turned, right? Who would have thought?
The tables have turned. Yes, they tend to me. Yes, they go, Mom, you need a highlight job. Mom, your purse looks terrible. Anyway, go ahead.
But you're open to receiving it, and I think that that's half the battle, right?
Yes, I'm very open to whatever they've got to say. I am.
And on Saturday, I was going to say Saturday you're coming to Augusta, and for those who aren't familiar with your act, to me it's a great parents' night out. Just to hear that there's a stand-up comedian that's family friendly that you can go and have a good laugh at and really hit home on a lot of key things. So what can people expect from you on Saturday as they come and watch you.
Well, thank you for saying that, Udall, because I do still get a lot of younger moms, and I get a lot of like girls' night out, groups of women, and then I get a lot of couples, and I see these men and women doing this at each other in the audience, and they're so precious to me. But anyway, what I don't talk about anything political, or I don't, I'm very clean. And so, but I have innuendo, but I talk about, my family life and what I'm going through. And Lord, now I'm 57 and I'm on the other side of menopause, but I talk about grandbabies and babies and all that kind of stuff. And so I'm really a storyteller. People can come and hear stories. And this is a whole new hour. So when people saw me with the Big Panty Tour, that's not the same thing. I shot a Netflix special that will come out in April the 11th, and that was the Big Panty Tour. So this is the new one called Just Getting Started, and I named it that because I feel like I'm just getting started at 57. All this is happening for me, and it's so precious. The people that have embraced me after all these years of me doing stand-up, but more storytelling, good times, laugh, let's have a ball, forget about all the mess in the world. That's what I hope people can do.
Well, I love that. That sounds fantastic. And if you're interested in going and getting tickets, you're going to be at the Bell Auditorium on Saturday in Augusta. And if folks can't make it on Saturday, where else can they catch you?
Oh, my Lord, honey, I'm everywhere. They're working me like a mule. I'll be all over Georgia. I'll be all over. I'm all over the South and the Midwest right now for the first half of this tour. And then the second half, once that Netflix special comes out, then they're going to send me up north and up in the Pacific Northwest. So if you like a good girls trip, you want a bunch of people to come and see me in Dallas or Fort Worth or somewhere fun like that where you can also shop and buy a purse, I'm everywhere. So just look at leannemorgan.com. And I'll be taking a good probiotic, and we'll have a ball.
I love it. Thank you so much, Leanne. We appreciate you giving us your time today, and I know that you're going to have a fantastic time here in Augusta as we welcome you on Saturday.
Thank you, my darling, and I wish that I could help you with your little baby and put in a load of wash in a casserole.
Thank you. I wish you could too.
I know, darn it. Maybe if I can get the time, I will.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Leanne. Have a good one.
Thank you. You too, my darling.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.